Look, I am not going to lie, this kind of video should have probably been made a hot minute ago. And by a hot minute, I mean about a month. Should have probably made it last month. But what I didn't want to do is just pump out a video without fully processing everything. I didn't want to pump something out and give off the wrong impression. I wanted to mull over everything, and I wanted to really gauge what people thought about something like this, because whilst it shouldn't be really questioned, it was definitely interesting, at least. So, if you don't know, at the beginning of 2020-ish, I actually made one of my first videos about this. We had the first set of 2020 LEGO idea submissions cut-off date, which means anything that got over 10,000 votes from the community was going to be reviewed by the LEGO officials and deemed whether or not it could or could not be made an official LEGO Ideas set. Now, we all had a lot of hopes, we all had a lot of thoughts back then. We thought, you know, we want that Krusty Krab, we want that Iron Giant, we want that Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. But out of all of those that could have been picked, only 1.5 actually did. And you might be thinking, Jake, how can half a LEGO set be picked as a possible set to be made? I'll get on to that. Just give me a hot minute, alright? So, out of these 26 sets, only these 2 were actually considered. I say considered, like all of them were considered, but these 2 were the ones that LEGO thought, we could make these a set. The globe, of which obviously, in my opinion, was going to be picked. It had gathered so much media attention. I was seeing it on stuff before I had really deep dived my way into the LEGO Ideas framework and LEGO Ideas sort of system, I suppose. It was just everywhere. There were blogs being written about it. There were people ranting and raving going, we want this, we want a LEGO globe. And obviously LEGO Ideas was paying attention to that kind of stuff, so it's being made. I have no if, no buts, no coconuts, no problem about any of this. I think it's a great product. I am probably gonna buy one. Maybe. I don't know, like the piano was so expensive, and I really want that piano. But something like this, they could probably bring down in price to about 150-ish pounds, maybe? About $170, $180, about that price-ish. I'm hoping that the globe is more affordable. I'm looking forward to seeing a fully built globe. I just think it would look really awesome in my room. Maybe on like a bookshelf or something like that. I've got a lot of music stuff about. I could stick it on sort of like my CD rack or something like that. That'll look sick. Yeah, that'll look well cool. And then the second set that was considered was the Sonic the Hedgehog one. This was one that was really well made, really well designed. The concept for it was great. It didn't go over the top. It wasn't trying to go after getting its own theme all by itself or anything like that. It was just something really simple, made out of Lego in a very simple way itself. It celebrated the iconicness of what those little loops were and things like that, which was great. But that one didn't get a big green dick. That one got one of those little yellow question marks, you know, just a little... And the reason for that is simply it's down to licensing. Lego doesn't hold licensing for everything all of the time. Lego have previously worked with Sega to make the minifigs when we had Lego Dimensions, but that doesn't mean that they hold the licensing for that forever or anything like that. Every time something like that would have to be remade, they would have to turn around to Sega and go, hey, Big Blue Hedgehog Man, would you like to maybe be a Lego thing again? And they go, well, what's the thing? And this is why it got its question mark because it has to be evaluated on a bigger level than a lot of other sets normally would, especially an original idea set like the Spinning Globe. This is also where I saw a lot of outrage by the community, because some people put an idea out and it's not fully accurate, and then people run with it, and it's the idea of, obviously, if a Lego set can't be made of a particular IP, for example, the SpongeBob one, the process of that is Lego turning around to someone like Nickelodeon, or whoever owns the IP, I suspect it most likely to be Nickelodeon, and go, hey, a fan has made a new Lego Krusty Krab. They've designed it, mocked it out, concepted the whole shebang. Will you allow us to license what they've designed into a model? And Nickelodeon have the choice of going yes or no. And that doesn't mean SpongeBob is like forever out. That just means that particular model at that particular time, Nickelodeon don't want to license it to be made. Like, they've already done Lego SpongeBob, and it didn't do overly well. So, you can't really blame Nickelodeon for going, no, not this time, soz. But that also doesn't mean an IP should be taken out of Lego ideas, because Nickelodeon haven't gone and went, no, you're never going to be able to use our IP for any of your Lego ever again, because that would be ridiculous. It was just this particular time, at this particular moment, we don't want you to make a Lego set out of SpongeBob, which seems absolutely fine and reasonable to me. I mean, it didn't seem that way to quite a lot of people. Let's look at just Lego ideas as a whole. Out of the 26 at that time, which was the most ideas they'd ever done at that time, they had to go through, only 9 of them were original ideas. 9. That's under half. That's like 30%, something like that. Jake can't do math in his head very well. But it's a small amount. It's minute. People wonder why only one was officially selected as a big green tick for this, and it's because people aren't submitting fully original concepts. If you took those 9 away, every single other idea that was proposed in the Lego idea system that got a big 10,000 votes had to go through so many more hoops. It would have been a logistic nightmare. And I don't think we should stay away from IPs as far as people who want to make Lego ideas models, because being allowed to come up with your own creations based on IPs is part of the fun of Lego ideas. But more original ideas means more big green ticks on those things, which means we get more being selected. Lego Ideas has never promised at any point that they were going to pick even one idea from all of the ideas that were selected as part until the cut-off date of any time. They never said they were going to make any of them. So far, they have decided to make a number of them. So far, they have decided to make a number of them. If all of the ideas at one point were selected and they went through them all and they got the little Lego brains on and they thought about it a lot and said, you know, none of these are good enough, I think Lego Ideas has the rights to turn around and go, I'm sorry guys, but we're not going to make one. We're just not. I think that's absolutely fair and valid. There's a video I want to make later on after a lot more research and things like that, but on what makes an ideas theme model, an ideas theme model, because a lot of the things, in my opinion, I think are being submitted getting 10k votes and aren't really thinking about it when they submit them. They're just going, oh, I've got an idea. They hash it out and go, there we go. We're going to put that on there and we're going to get lots of votes and I'm going to get my model made. And then they don't, and then they get upset and they get mad. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to the Globe. I would love to see Sega work out a deal with Lego to be able to make that set, because I think that Sonic set is really cool. Again, it's beautifully simplistic. It doesn't take away from anything, doesn't add anything either to what makes Sonic back in the day special. I just think it was a really good, really clever idea. I know a lot of people probably watching this would probably disagree with me and be like, no, if they should always pick loads of ideas that people make, because obviously they got 10,000 votes, so like 10,000 people will buy it, and that's not necessarily true. It's just 10,000 people like the idea of it. I support a lot of models put onto Lego ideas that I think are cool concepts or cool ideas, but not necessarily something that I think would be made into a Lego set in its current form. But obviously with the Lego polishing it and working it out a little bit more Lego-like, they could hopefully in theory make it. So, you know, if you if you agree with me, leave a comment and a like. If you disagree with me, leave a comment and a like, or a dislike, because the dislikes on YouTube, fun fact, do nothing. They do nothing. If anything, it's a +1 on engagement, so sucks to be you. My next video, I want to do a bit of a dive into the unprecedented, I hate that word so much, 35, I think it was 35 that were picked from the latest round, as they got 10k votes. So I want to do a little bit of a will they, won't they on that. Expect that at some point soon, maybe. And then I've got another video which I'll probably get a lot of wagging fingers or a lot of upset people, potentially. Who knows? But I just want to express my opinion on a thing because it's really bugging me. So subscribe if you want to see another Lego Ideas video, or you want to see the potential downfall of Jake Studs. I'm going to do another live stream soon as well. I'm going to build the... Ooh, what shall I build? I'm going to build the Lego Night Bus from Harry Potter. So, yeah. Stick around. Subscribe so you don't miss that, because I really like live streaming. I don't know why I'm saying it now. I can never find a good way to end these videos.